15. I mean, of course, he's alluding to taxes here.
Yeah.
But with your guest and you just digesting what you've read over the past few minutes, can you guess what those tax changes are and where he would target them?
Well, if I were a gambling man, and I'm not, he's going to have to do some kind of increase. He did make a comment it's not going to be on the backs of the poor. So I would guess they're probably going to look at increasing corporate tax rates by maybe 2%.
Which is sitting at 28%.
Which is 28% now, so up it to 30 in Feb. And something with because you mentioned progressive in nature, probably the personal income taxes, looking at increasing maybe the maximum rate from 40 to 45 or something like that. But on the strategic growth, the NDP is there in place. I mean, the world is looking at Africa. So if the world believes the growth will come from Africa, we're perfectly positioned. So if what he is doing, he's balancing the boat for the next 3 years. Yeah. That is to say, if we boost an economy, it doesn't boost immediately. There's a lag. So if he can stabilize for 2 to 3 years, then potentially all those incentives that kick in will kick in over a 2 to 3 year period, and then we're going to see turnovers jump, and hence we're going to see tax revenues jump. So maybe there is a plan to this, and I actually think this is what needs to be done. Other issues aside, of course.
You spoke about business. So Dave, let me ask you, we will try and speak to the business leaders who are probably in that plenary and try and get them on. But from your perspective, businesses watching this medium-term budget speech, do you think they're impressed and do you think they've got a bit of a confidence boost, or does it go the other way around?
Well, I think firstly from the point of view of the financial markets, I think they would like the speech. Because it's fairly concrete in terms of the numbers, how you're going to bring that deficit down. I think what business has been looking for as well is to say, well, we've got a fiscal situation, it looks like it's deteriorating, and what are going to be the future demands on us to try and balance the books of government. So from that point of view, I think there's probably some worry about what those tax increases are going to be in future and whether it's going to be on the corporate tax side as well. But aside from that, don't think in the short term there's much in it that would make a business very excited or excited. Apart from the fact that it means we are bunkering down in terms of fiscal balances in the country, and that creates a better platform for growth in future.
All right, we had an initial guess by Treasury of forecast rather of economic growth reaching 2.7% for 2014. The finance minister mentioned a figure of 1.4% in August. He's mentioned it again this time around. We've blamed the outside environment globally for quite some time now, and indeed we had the financial crisis, but it's becoming more and more apparent that what's really at play are domestic challenges. Is that 1.4% going to grow in the years to come or not?
Well, the minister has put in the 1.4 for this year and 2.5 for next year, and then I think 2.8 for the year thereafter. The key question is whether next year's growth is going to be faster than this year's mediocre, let's say 1.5% growth. And certainly if you look at this, as I said, the short-term impact of the budget is not going to boost growth. We're still in the phase where we'll probably be increasing taxes. And if you look at the international situation, it is still uncertain. So from that point of view, if there's any repeat of the labor problems that we had this year, next year, then we sit with a dilemma that maybe even that 2.5% next year will not be realized, and then the minister would have to go back, and scratch out the old numbers and try and put in new numbers to balance it. So no, it's a difficult situation for me.
All right, let's go back now to the floor outside Parliament to find out what more MPs are saying about the finance minister's speech, the medium-term budget speech. I believe Abra is